My statements might surprise you.
You like Paris? You like the French now?
That
Oh, I know
that
you
was
love the
not
French ever since
Pokemon.
Expedition 33.
Yeah, that was not Pokemon's doing. I have to report some excellent news.
Yeah?
Twitch is working. I fixed it. I was right. The bitrate was too high.
We love to see it. Blake intentionally broke everything.
I very intentionally. I want us to fail. Specifically us to fail. Well, Emily more than me.
I can make that happen.
No, please don't. Please don't.
I can
This
make
is
us
all
fail
I have.
anytime you want.
This is one of the
Look at me,
few
Blake.
things that bring me joy left in life.
I can make us fail. I brought us into this world, and I can bring us out.
To be fair, this was her idea. Like, this was
Yes.
officially... I had been, like, thinking about a podcast, like, not seriously right before she came to me. And then she came to me, I'm like, well, yep, this is the way to do it. If I would
Like,
have
what if
stepped
we
in...
just talked about video games a lot? But, like, honestly, so I'm gonna be real with you, Blake. I just want to talk about Tears of the Kingdom, and now that we've done that, I'm kind of over this.
Oh, wow, she's just gonna leave me now. It's been 2 years. It's been 2.5 years, and she's ready to leave. She's
I
ready
just really
to
wanted to
go.
rant about how much I didn't like Tears of the Kingdom.
I mean, sure.
I just really wanted a forum to be able to do that. And now I've done it. So I think I'm good.
Well,
you
now
know?
I have my forum to rant about Pokemon Legends ZA, and my god, do I have been holding in. We were supposed to do this yesterday, and then we got the repo itch, so we played repo on my stream yesterday. But I have had the, like, ADHD, like, push to, like, remember everything I wanted to say about this. Because I finished the game Wednesday morning, and I did post-game content after that. And I played a little bit yesterday.
So I was just texting my friend who's played Pokemon ZA because I thought she was enjoying it. And if you're about to rant, I want her to be here to fight you. Like, I want to see this fight.
Great. Well, here's the... Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it because my statements might surprise you.
You like Paris? You like the French now?
That was
Oh, I know
that
you
was
love the
not
French ever since
Pokemon.
Expedition 33.
Yeah, that was not Pokemon's doing.
What do you mean?
Crazy. What I will say this, it's nice that after this like 3.5 week stint of playing new releases, I'm back on my backlog stuff and I'm not focused on new releases that I have to rush to get done. It's kind of relaxing.
I felt that relief after Yote where I was like, I can go back to like reading books and checking in on Dreamlight Valley without feeling guilty and like I'm failing in everything I'm trying to do.
I finished Yote, and then the day I finished Yote was the day Pokemon came out, and I'm like, well, here we go again. Pokemon was not nearly as long, but I wasn't expecting it to be.
So how many hours would you say it took you to beat it from beginning to end?
28 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I don't know I guess I don't know the typical length of a Pokemon game.
That's about average. Actually, you know what? I'll even say it's a little bit longer in regards to... So the older games were longer because it was typical JRPG. There was a lot of grinding. Now that the grinding has gone significantly down because they've optimized it and realized that grinding isn't fun.
Nobody enjoys grinding.
You can technically say the game is longer because more time was not done grinding things. Okay. But we'll get into positives and negatives later. Like that's like later discussion. Oh my god. Okay, I've got to hold in the information, but first we're going to talk about news. Unless Emily, do you have news first?
I mean, I have a couple things, not anything like crazy or super exciting.
I'll let you go first because I have some pretty big things. But yeah.
Big things first. That's more exciting. I want to hear the big things.
But then we start small and get bigger.
No, go.
Okay, fine. First and foremost, if you guys did not know, TwitchCon was this past weekend. And even though this is not specific game related, it is related because this is our space and this is where we have our platform and everything. TwitchCon was this past weekend, and if you didn't see the news, a very popular streamer who goes by Emiru was assaulted at her meet and greet.
Again.
Yeah, some dude jumped on stage, forcefully grabbed her and tried to kiss her until Emiru's security themselves stopped them, not Twitch's security. Um, like that was a whole thing. This
What
is
is Twitch's
a
security doing?
yeah, that was a big part of Emiru's rant video about it. This is Emiru, 27-year-old streamer. Of course, you're gonna have crazed fans when you have. I wouldn't call her an e-girl because she's not posting news or anything online, but she does the cosplay thing and everything like that.
He has like the aesthetic.
Yeah,
Of
she
an
has the
e-girl.
aesthetic. But yeah, some dude jumped on stage and Twitch initially, Emiru like Emiru was like, "This happened. This scared the shit out of me. My security handled it. Where was Twitch's security? What happened there?" And Twitch's initial response was like, "We did everything we could. We put they put a 30-day ban on the man initially until more backlash came out, and they banned him indefinitely." Which doesn't do anything, mind you. A ban from the website does nothing. Um, Emiru then went and she's filing charges against this man for obvious reasons. She was assaulted.
Yeah.
And now Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, is like, yeah, I'm not happy with my initial statements and we need to take accountability and we messed up. Like, you're only saying this because you got more backlash for how you
How is
respond
it
to
that
this.
every time like a celebrity or a big corporation or someone does something wrong and the only thing they really need to do is say, we messed up, it was inexcusable, we're really sorry, like we're gonna make changes, here's what we're gonna do. They just decide to like, that's not our fault. That's
No.
your fault. That's on you. And then they come back and be like, I guess apology was like not well received. I
No.
want like that's so weird.
And then they backpedal and then they fix their statement, which they don't mean because whatever. A lot of the comments when these things dropped too did not pass the vibe check. There were people in there like, look, it was the look how she dresses type comments. Like, what does she
Oh my
expect
god.
when she is who she is? Blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, hold on, you're
She
victim
like
blaming now.
it's ridiculous. She did not do
She
anything for a man to be able to jump up on stage and assault her.
no, nobody deserves that. No matter what profession you
No.
are, no matter what. Like, that is, assault is assault. It is that man's fault. That
That's
man needs to go to
crazy.
prison for a long time. That's the news story. That happened. A lot of people are considering boycotting TwitchCon forever because of this. This is not the first big thing to come out of TwitchCon either. There was another girl who got injured and lost a child that she didn't know she was having in a ball pit that was not properly done. This was like 2-3 years ago.
That's not funny at all. The ball pit just made me think of like, do you remember that like Tumblr con in like 2014?
No, I didn't know there was a Tumblr con.
What was it called? DashCon or something?
I believe it.
Yes, it was DashCon for like people on Tumblr, and they had all these things that they were going to do, and like they talked about all these things that were going to be there, and then like this was what the room looked like
Oh, wait, did you send me something? Oh, wait, there it
on
is.
Discord. Yeah,
Oh, hi, Tia. Tia's here.
Tia remembers DashCon.
Oh my god, it's so small. I can't show it because
Yeah,
it's too
like
small. It'll be
all
blown
they
out. But
had was like this ball pit. Yes,
actually,
Tia, thank you. Yes, Tia knows ball pit. Yeah, all they had was
Tumblr
the ball pit.
con ball pit.
No, it's called DashCon. DashCon.
Oh, I
is
mean,
what it
it's right
was.
here.
Okay, yeah.
This is bananas. How small
Like
it
they
was.
advertised this whole thing of like we're gonna get all the Tumblr people to come together, and then it really was just like a ball pit.
This was
Oh, they were there.
11
Yeah, that
years
was it.
ago.
Somebody like referenced spending time in the ball pit.
Oh my god. Okay, well, that
Like,
exists. That's the
it
thing.
was not funny, but you mentioned like, oh yeah, she was in the ball pit, and I was just made me think of that.
No, I think now that made it funny. The situation's still really, really fucked up.
Really
But like,
terrible.
yeah, but Twitch, stop penny pinching. One, okay, Twitch, I know you're listening and you're probably going to suppress this because I'm saying this, but I don't care at this point. One, do better. Two, push your small creators so you make more money. I know it's hard to do for you and hard for you to understand, but you know, there's some of us out here that want to help you make money so we can make money. Crazy, right?
Well, like, here's something you have to remember. Twitch is owned by Amazon.
It's true. It's true. They are.
They don't care about any of that.
No, they don't. They have money. They don't need the old
They
me.
have all the money they need. They really like do not care.
I hate it here. I hate it here.
We just got
Uh
back here. You can't hate it here. We just worked for like 3 weeks to get this Twitch to work again.
oh, you know what? That's true. That is true. We're back up. Yay. Okay. Cool. Next story. I'm not switching the tab yet because the apparently after the last 2 weeks of us shitting on Microsoft making mistakes, they've made another one. Like
Yeah,
another big fucking mistake. They've risen. You know what a dev kit is? Yes.
kind of.
It's those before consoles come out and even when consoles are out, that's what they send to developers so they can develop on and test on.
Oh,
Like it's
yes.
a beefed up Xbox Series X, whatever. Those they go for higher prices because there's more features. They go for like $1,500. Understandably, it's a dev kit, whatever. They rose the price of the goddamn dev kits from
Raise.
$1,500. Sorry, they raised the price of the dev kits from $1,500 to $2,000, making it harder.
That feels right.
Huh?
That feels right in this era.
Like, that makes it harder for smaller developers to develop for your platform. I hope you know that, Xbox. You are literally doing the most anti-consumer, anti-developer that you're killing yourselves. You are
Well, they can
slitting
get in
your
line with
throats.
Nintendo about who is the most anti-consumer at the moment.
My God! Somehow, Nintendo's anti-consumer, but they're staying afloat. Xbox is putting the knife to their neck and slowly moving it and saying, "I don't know why I'm bleeding out from the neck." It's kind of irritating. I'm not giving you a pass to Nintendo, but Xbox.
This is just I don't even really know what their business plan at this point anymore is. I think they just care about I mean, we've talked about this. I don't think they really care about consoles at this point. I don't really think that's their shtick anymore. So they might be charging more money to get like the dev kits because they don't really give a shit about their consoles. They're making their money off of software, not hardware anymore.
Which I'm okay with. And if that's the case, then just say, hey, we're done with hardware and move on to software. Like, stop continuously trying to push your hardware if you plan on not doing it anymore. Right? Like, do what
Yeah.
Sega did. Just get out. Get out now. We don't need you anymore. There's no room for Xbox consoles anymore. I hate to
There's
say
no
it, but
room at the table for you.
yeah,
Honestly, though, the reason like I kind of don't want them to fully leave yet is just because the reality is that more competition
yeah,
is better.
there is the
Like
competition aspect.
granted, like once Xbox leaves, you really have PlayStation and Nintendo, and
And Steam,
while they
if
are
you
still in
count that.
competition with one another, they don't offer the same catalog of games that like PlayStation and Xbox usually both offer the same types of games and are
Right.
in competition to get those exclusives, to get those things to like earn the consumer's purchase. You get rid of
Uh
that and it's really PlayStation and Nintendo and they're not really fighting over the same games, right? Like Nintendo
and
has Nintendo games, PlayStation's going to have PlayStation games. Like
while I 100% agree with you on the competition is needed portion, the competition has been dead for a while only because Xbox now releases everything everywhere else as well at this point. And it kind
but
of
that's also more of a reason for PlayStation to step it up because I mean, like, yes, you don't have to buy the Xbox console, but then you have to be like, what is PlayStation offering at that point? Like, what exclusives are
yeah,
they offering?
which they're offering those exclusives and most of them are pretty decent for the most part with the exception of a few. I'm looking at you Concord only lasting 2 weeks. Uh Dude, that's my biggest regret is not actually just buying a physical copy of Concord and just holding it because those things are worth so much money now because everyone returned them.
I mean, hindsight's 2020, right? I
I
mean,
mean, I couldn't have predicted it. There's nothing I could have predicted.
if you had PT on your PS4, you could have sold that for a lot of money back in the day. Or
That's true.
Flappy Bird on your iPhone.
I wonder if people still care. I'm sure people still care about that. Some interesting people. Um okay, cool. Last thing, this is somewhat related, but not the big thing related to what we're talking about today. There was more massive Pokemon leaks that came out. We saw a list of the next, set of games. The next Generation 10, which should come out next year, will be Wind and
Wearing a letter
Waves.
jacket.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's just from the anime.
Wind
I
and
think
Waves, that's a fun title.
it will be interesting. I mean, I'm interested to see what they're doing, but given other things in the leaks, which I'm not going to bring up now, and I'm going to bring up later. Um, I'm not excited. I'm not happy. Is all I'll
I'm not
say.
happy.
I'm not. Well, once again, we're gonna get into it in just like 2 minutes. But Emily says she has a little bit of news. So
I mean, I don't have anything crazy, which is why I kind of want you to go first because I want to make sure I wasn't saying anything you were saying, and I didn't think I was because mine aren't super exciting. But something that pissed me off the other day was I saw that a former PlayStation boss was saying that live service games are not real games, which
oh god. Oh god, no, 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 no.
different type of game, and people may not like them, and they serve different purposes. But live service games are still perfect games. I
It's
mean, not perfect games. They're still games. They still qualify.
it's just like the people who say mobile games aren't games, and like unfortunately most people don't like them, sure, but they're still games. They're gotcha games, but they're games.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Live
They're
service
a
is
waste
also
of time and money that could have gone into doing what the developers already do best.
like and I hate this because live service games aren't necessarily my thing, except for Fall Guys for that long stint of time. Live service games are what make money. Unfortunately, like that is they make a ton of money and they do incredibly well because people enjoy them. People love that. They eat that. Look at League of Legends. It's been going on for 10 to 15 years. Like people
I
eat that
mean,
shit
look at
up.
me.
And
In
look at
4 weeks,
Dreamlight
I'm about to
Valley.
drop another $50 on Dreamlight Valley.
Man, she spent $50 on that game for some extra content, and now she's dropping at this point $150 just for
Like,
DLC.
I actually sat down once. I don't have the math with me, right? I actually sat down and I totaled up every single penny I've spent on Dreamlight Valley. And then I
Okay,
divided it by the number of hours I've put into Dreamlight Valley and
which
compared
is
it to some
valid.
of
That's
the
a valid
other
thing to do.
like games I played were like, oh, like Ghost of Yotei was a birthday gift from you. Like, let's say I bought Ghost of Yotei, right? That was a $70 purchase. I put 60 hours into that. So like you can kind of do the math. Like my Dreamlight Valley, like what's the word I want? Dollar per hour was so much lower. Like I still like paid so much less
Oh yeah, it's probably
to
like
enjoy the amount of time I've enjoyed on Dreamlight Valley, even having purchased, we're going on 3 DLCs. Like, I've done some premium shop stuff every now and again when I've been low on, like, Moonstones. Like, I've put over 2,000 hours into that game. So,
it's probably like 10 cents, like 10 cents an hour or something like that.
I'll have to do the math again. I had the math, like, I had a spreadsheet one day because I was like, I want to know, like, how much have I put in, how much money have I put into this game versus, like, how much time I have? Like, what is my cost per hour? Like, and then compare that to my other games. And it's still, like, beyond, like, 5 times over was more value for my money than most of the other games I've played, considering how much I enjoy Dreamlight Valley. Which is like another thing about live service games. I know they kind of get a bad rep for being like, oh, they just want to keep making your money. But like, if it's a game I enjoy and I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting thousands of hours into, then I'm happy to continue giving devs money to keep making them, for them to keep making the thing I enjoy and support devs. Like, that doesn't feel bad to me. Unless it's like obviously
No,
there are ones that like are predatory or they take advantage or they
Fall
push it too
Guys,
far. But
Fall Guys.
I don't think live service games. Yeah, yeah, Fall Guys like just which is why like I know Dreamlight Valley when it originally came out was pitched as it was going to be $30 to buy into the early access and then eventually it was going to go free to play. And people were really upset because they changed their mind and they decided they weren't going to make it free to play. They were going to keep it the $30 or the $50 price that it became. And people were really frustrated by that because they were like, I don't want to pay for this. It was supposed to be free to play. I appreciated that it didn't go to free to play because I know like right now it still has a lot of like in-game purchases and like microtransactions and things like that. And games that go free to play have more of those. It would have been worse. Like every character would have like been behind a paywall. Every update would have been behind a paywall. And now we're at a point we're still getting free updates every 2 months.
Well,
Sorry, I'm done ranting about my Valley. I just don't think live service games are the devil.
no, they're not. They're
I
not
think
at
they're
all.
great. I mean, obviously there are some that are predatory, but like those don't often feel that much worse to me than when somebody charges like $70 for like a 15-hour game.
Oh yeah, which I think if you're charging $70, 30 hours should be the minimum. 25 to 30 should be the minimum, the bare minimum, and it better be good. But
30 like some this is something I was struggling with because obviously I'm gonna buy it. Obviously I'm gonna play it. I'm hoping I'm gonna love it. But like I saw people talking about like Resident Evil Requiem probably still being like a $70, $80 game,
I think that's
considering that
even
like
different because horror games can't be that long.
I mean depends, right? Because Resident Evil 4 is like a 20 some hour experience the first time you play through it.
Yeah.
Whereas Resident Evil, let's say like 3 or 2 or 3 is like a 10-hour experience, and then when you replay it, you can play it in 2 hours. If you know what you're doing. Resident Evil 3, you can play in an hour and a half. Resident Evil 4 has a 4-hour trophy that's not hard to get. Um, so like you can have longer horror games. I mean, Visage was a longer horror game. They do exist. But then even if your argument is that, well, I think even Silent Hill 2 was like a 25-hour game for me.
Yeah.
Even if the argument is that like horror games can't be super long,
I I think it's context dependent.
it is. I don't mind. I'm not saying the horror games have to be long, but then they still shouldn't be $80.
Yeah, yeah. If they're still $70-$80 for a shorter game, it better be damn good. Like it better be damn good for what it is, right?
Yeah, I was about to say that to you, but then you also have the problem where it's like, okay, then like the longer games are the only thing that are worth money, so we have to make long games, like long open world games in order to like turn a profit. And then you're right, that's how you end up with an oversaturation of like these huge open empty worlds or bloated worlds. So like I guess maybe that's a topic we could talk about another day is like what is the pricing structure of a video game? How should it be? Because in the end I will pay $70-$80 for that Resident Evil 9 and I probably will love it.
Oh, excuse me. Silksong is like 20. Yeah, Silksong was only $20. Silksong at
Expedition 33 was 40,
50.
50?
50. And that took
Yeah.
me like 50 to 70 hours to beat.
Well, you also have to think too, like, even if you're charging less for the game, you're probably going to get more people to buy it because it doesn't have such like a high. Not everybody can afford a $70, $80, $90 game looking at you, Nintendo, for Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which
more
is
people can
weird.
stomach like a $40 purchase every few months rather than like a $70-$80 purchase.
On that note with the Mario Kart thing, I still haven't seen it at $90 anywhere physically. Like I know they said that was going to be the thing. I don't know if they just secretly didn't do it because every time we've gone to GameStop and seen it, and when I bought it at GameStop, it was only 80. Still too
Was that like
expensive.
another
But
country? Like, where was it $90? Maybe that was something
no,
somebody made up.
no, no, no.
Maybe we got
Nintendo said
scammed.
it. Nintendo outright said it. But I think they just did not retract it and just retracted it without saying they retracted it.
Mm,
Like,
I
if
don't
that
know.
makes sense.
But
Quietly retracting. But every time I've seen it
I
in the
guess
store, it's still $80.
we should probably do this. I would like to do like something that compares how many like copies Silk Song sold versus like other $70-$80 games. Like more people can afford to drop $20 on a game than they can afford to drop $70 on a game, but at the same time it's Silk Song, obviously it's this hugely anticipated game. I don't know. I think that would be a good topic for another day is talking about how do you value and price games.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're not
As long
experts in that.
Nope.
There's got to be a nice middle ground that keeps it from like you like Tia said, oversaturating with like big empty open worlds, but also not making people pay $80 for like a 5-hour experience.
Yeah, we're not game devs. It's not our job to handle that. We just critique the things that they give us.
A little more sympathy for like games that include microtransactions.
And
I, I think I just became more sympathetic of
I
like
yeah, go ahead.
okay. I was just gonna say if you're only charging like $30-$40 for the game. Now if you're charging the $80 for the game and then you're like filling with microtransactions, but if you're charging like $40 for the game and then you're like, here's some like microtransactions, here's some DLC to buy, here's some this like that kind of like beefs up the price, but then you don't have to buy it if you don't want to.
I also think it's important to mention that about 9 out of 10 times it's not the developer's pricing is not the developer's fault. It is 100% the publisher's fault for being the publisher and being terrible. So well, Bean's out of frame. Now Bean's in frame. Hi, Bean. Bean, what were your thoughts on Pokemon Legends CA? Which starter did you pick? Well, very insightful.
That was a good one. Yeah. You got some deep thoughts on that one. Come on, Bubs.
Okay. Let's get into the meat and the potatoes here because I've been trying to hold on to this information for like 2 days straight, and it's been
All right. Blake wants to talk to you all about Pokemon ZA. Now, my biggest question, I guess,
Yeah.
before you start talking about actual Pokemon things is, why is it called ZA and why wasn't it called A to Z?
Oh, okay, that's very, very easy to explain. Pokemon Legends ZA was called Legends ZA because a whole premise, probably the biggest part of the game is how this tournament structure, the in-game tournament structure is. You are going from the bottom rank Z all the way to rank A.
Oh.
Now, granted, you're not. Luckily,
So
you're
it's
not going.
basically like the one level in Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door where you start off at the bottom and then you gotta fight your way all the way to the top to
The
defeat
pit of
Hawk Rock.
100.
Or that's his name, right? Hawk Rock?
Yes.
Sorry. I just like Paper Mario.
But rank S is above A shows. So thank you, G. Okay. I'm gonna preface this before the review starts, and it's gonna make more sense why I'm saying this exact phrase, and I've already said it in this podcast. Why this exact phrase is super relevant to this whole review is that context is everything. And I need you to keep that in the back of your head.
Blake's about to be like a, but in what context person?
No, it's not even like that.
And is this related to like your I hate French people, but like I enjoy them, but only in this context?
No, it's not that. This is a
Tia,
capitalism.
do you know that? I don't know if Tia's still here, but Tia, do you know Blake hates the French? He and I fighted about it a lot because I'm always
because the French aren't real. French people aren't real.
I've been there, and they have good food and good cities.
Yeah, next you're gonna say birds are real.
No, your birds are real, and they're evil.
They're government drones, but sure.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're reviewing Pokemon. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay. Okay, great. Wonderful. So, remember that phrase. Context is everything. Little backstory. Because this game's story is a continuation. So the original Pokemon, this is the second Pokemon Legends game. The first Pokemon Legends game, Legends Arceus, was like 1,000 years in the past from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Generation 4. This game did something slightly different, and they went 5 years in the future of Gen 6, of X and Y. So instead of going in the past of that generation, that region, we went in the future. I'll get into that a little bit later. Wait, what is your...
I'm already lost in this timeline. I'm already lost in the sauce.
Okay, just know that...
You said like 4 different Pokemon games in there.
Just focus on Generation 6, X and Y, Legend ZA. Okay?
That makes sense. They all have letters in them.
Yes, okay. Pokemon X and Y set in the Kalos region, which is essentially the Pokemon version of France. Its story surrounded an evil organization called Team Flare that is trying to revitalize a 3,000-year-old weapon that can either bring life or bring death. And actually, after playing Legends ZA, I learned to appreciate X and Y's story a little bit more because it had cool like ideas that it implemented. It didn't execute them super well, but it had like decent ideas. So you defeat that evil team. The evil team leader, it's ambiguous to whether he lives or dies at the end. You're not sure if he lives or dies, and you move on. In that game, they explain about the war that happened 3,000 years in the past, where this large, giant-ass man named AZ.
The tall man? Is it the tall man you sent me a photo of?
It's a very tall man. His name is AZ. In that 3,000-year war,
AZ from the game X and Y.
Yes. Okay. He had a Pokemon, he had a Floette that he loved that was murdered in this war. And he created this weapon that gave eternal life to himself and brought his lovely Floette back to life. But that weapon also destroyed all the enemies that killed Floette, and Floette was very mad at him and left him and went away. It's like, hey, you're going to live forever for 3,000 years without me. And so back in X and Y, at the conclusion of the game, AZ comes back, explains what's happening, and Floette comes back to him. It's like, hey, this is the time for you to atone for your sins and everything. And in that game gets fixed. So this is 5 years after the events of all that happening, right? Okay. So in Kalos, the main city hub, what is essentially Paris, where the Eiffel Tower is a place called Lumiose City. It is this massive city. If Emily were to actually sit down and play any Pokemon game, I would have her play Generation 6 because you can dress up. There are so many clothing options
I
in
asked
these
Tia about
areas.
her clothing options, and she sent me some pics of her character, and they were very cute.
Yes, they have some good options, except for the starting. Whoever thought it was a good idea to give me that ugly ass fedora as my starting hat, go to
Oh, you
hell.
didn't say there were fedoras involved.
Hello, princess. This is my Chickawita, my cute little Pokemon. Okay, I'm sorry.
Bean, you were growing hair everywhere.
Shut the fuck up, G.
You're so sneezing.
Okay, cool. Anywho, yeah, there's a lot of clothing options. You're in the main city of Lumios. Um, and the entire as soon as you get there,
Like, you're getting wrecked in chat.
oh, I know, I'm ignoring him. I've responded to him. I'm not even ignoring him.
Tia's with him now, too.
Yeah, but do I trust either of their judgments?
A little.
No. So, you're in this main city of Lumios. Um, and you are going to Lumios. You're on vacation. Your character gets there on vacation. You were just supposed to stay in a hotel and have a nice time.
Okay.
You immediately get assaulted by this woman who is like, hey, I need you to record this video for me for my Hotel Z, that is getting no traction. I know there's more letters. I'm so sorry. Uh, and she flashes her phone in your camera and forces you to say something. In that moment, your bag gets stolen by this group of ruffians. You have to chase them, and then they're like, hey, pick your starter Pokemon. You pick your Pokemon. You defeat them. They're like, you get to keep this. Oh, by the way, we want you to enter into this tournament to help us save the whole city, and we'll explain why as we go on.
Okay.
They don't really explain to you at the beginning how this is supposed to help the city or the hotel, but they
But
essentially
you just
say,
do it?
yeah, you're on vacation. You're like, yeah, I'll do this thing. Like I'm a permanent resident and I care about these people. And you are joining, and I
In
hope
exchange
this
for citizenship.
probably. I think this is the last set of letters, but I could be wrong. You immediately join the group of MZ. You are a part of Team MZ for this tournament.
So they're like ranks M through Z?
I don't know why they call them MZ. I thought it was names, but it has nothing to do with the names.
I thought the like whole thing of ZA was the like ranks that you're at. Why are all these people named after letters?
I mean, that could be the rank that they were at when we started, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Because
Everybody
the
in this
main,
world is just named letters?
like, what were the names? So the girl who assaults you, her name is Tawny. If you're a girl, if you're a boy, her name's Tawny. If you're a girl, it's a boy, and his name is Urbane. And then you
Dang.
have Naveen and Lita. Those are the four members
That's fun.
of this team. Naveen is a costume designer. He's pretty cool, though I won't lie, until they said he, I thought it was a she, and I felt bad about it.
Oh my goodness.
And then
Like,
Lita, she is a wannabe dancer. She wants to be an up and coming
wannabe
dancer.
dancer?
She's practicing to become a professional dancer. Like that is her dream. Besides the point. What did she just say? Okay, I was just gonna say, ignoring my knowledge of Pokemons, why would you want to enter a complete newbie who's never done organized cockfighting into a tournament? Tawny saw you fight this group of ruffians and is like, yeah, we need you.
That's the skill we need.
That we need you. And that's the general premise and like how this whole thing starts.
Okay.
And just as the game goes on, you meet more characters. You learn more about this world. You are being followed by the legendary Pokemon, who was introduced in X and Y called Zygarde. And you don't know why initially, but it slowly becomes
Wait,
more.
is this like the weird mouse looking one?
No, it's a dog.
Oh, I saw a video of somebody like saying that it was like stalking them and then it like leapt down upon them.
Of what? Oh, I'm gonna pull up an image of Zygarde. This is Zygarde, and he has multiple forms, but this is like his normal runaround form.
He makes me think of Shigo from Kim Possible.
Yeah, he does actually. Zygarde has 3 different forms. This is his 10%.
Is that
This
a
is
snake?
What?
Is that a snake?
Snake. I mean, yeah, he becomes a snake. He's he got his 10% form. This is his 50% form, and this is 100% form.
Zoom in. It's so small. Why does that look like a Neo? That looks like a Neopet, straight up.
So yeah,
Oh,
well,
you know what? I was seeing it from too far away. I was seeing it. Wait, I see this now. Go back to the last one. I was seeing this from further away. I thought the marks on like what you might call, I guess, is the chest. I thought those were the eyes, and I thought the long line under it was the
no,
mouth.
no, he's big up here. Are you talking about the cells, Tia?
1%. It's a baby mouse. I don't know, T. It was like a video of somebody like running through Paris, and they were like, "It's following me," and
Is
then it
it
was like
this
a mouse.
thing?
No, it wasn't that.
Okay, that because that's 1%. Like that's just a
No, it
cell.
was like it was still looks like the mouse Pokemon, but like he was like the alpha or someone is stalking me, and then it like leapt down on them.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I saw that video. Oh, what is its name? It's the Dene.
It was like it's following me, like it's stalking me. It can find me anywhere, and then it just like guys went out. Yeah, it was. I think this thing or something similar. They're like it's
Uh,
the alpha or something, and then I like leapt down upon them.
okay, cool. Main premise of the game. Story wise, when you get to the end, you discover that the ultimate weapon was never like officially destroyed because the one in X and Y was a duplicate and a mock-up. You learn that Lysander, the main villain of X and Y, is alive. The Eiffel Tower is the true ultimate weapon, and it's still alive and active and is ready to go off and turn all
That's
Pokemon
sick.
into rogue mega evolutions. It essentially destroys the whole city at the end. The whole
Like,
end
can you remove
sequence.
us from the photo of Dene?
Dene, just watching you.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
So like the whole end sequence, it's really cool how it's done. I really appreciate it. I think the story, it's nothing to like write home about. It's not the greatest story of all time, but when it comes to Pokemon games, it actually was decent enough where I will give the story praise. Uh,
How does it compare to like the stories of like recent games like Scarlet and Violet and Arceus?
it's not better than Arceus.
Other
Arceus
Pokemon
is
games?
1,000 times better, but it's better than Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon and Scarlet and Violet. Even X and Y, I would. No, it's probably tied with X and Y. It's still not the best story Pokemon's ever done. That's gonna be Black and White, but
Tia, do you agree with that assessment? Oh, I need an outsider's opinion because I don't
yeah.
trust your opinion.
Wow, that's rude as hell. From
No,
a
I do
story,
trust your opinion. I just don't know anything about Pokemon to like have an opinion, so I need somebody else to like be my backup for this.
um, story wise, for the most part, because I'm not really gonna focus too much on that, and I'm mostly mentioning all these things first because they're the positives, and then we're gonna get into the bad, the real bad. And you're not trusting our judgment isn't rude, but you know what? Valid, valid. G. Uh, so story wise, the game is decent, serviceable. I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset by it. It's about what I
Tia, did he
expected.
spoil the ending for you?
I mean, I really didn't get into details about it, but hey, spoilers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, go back to it.
Let's talk about battle mechanics. The other great thing about this game, they continued what they did in Legends Arceus, with the real-time battle mechanics, not turn-based. And they introduced the Mega Evolution thing. And it's a good time. There was not a point whenever I was battling and felt like this is a grind, this is taking too long, blah blah blah. Battles took like 10 seconds. Some battles took 10 to 15 seconds. They were quick and snappy, and it made me excited to go to the next one. Especially because the way you go through the ranks is that when it becomes nighttime, certain areas of the city become the battle zone, and you can just knock out like 20 trainers in 10 minutes time and make a whole bunch of money and just have a good time
Do you feel
fighting
like
them.
you moved through it too quickly then almost? Or did it
No,
feel like the pacing was really good?
it felt like the pacing was good because by the time I was done, I'm like, yep, that was a good amount of battling. I'm ready to go and do other things like shop and do side quests and talk to people and continue the main story and whatever. After you did the night cycle thing, to get to the next rank, you get a challenger ticket after the nighttime, and then you are ranked up against somebody who's your same rank with your when you both have a challenger ticket. You then fight each other to see who goes to the next rank. Um, and at one point, you're not actually going from Z to A. You go to Z to like V, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna automatically jump you all the way up to rank. I think it was F.
Why?
Just for story pacing. That was
They
it.
were like, "That's actually too much content. That would take too long for the player. We're just gonna skip,
It
like,
would
half the alphabet." So,
take a
really, it's not Z
long
to
time.
A. It's Z to V and then F to
F to
A.
A. Yes. To
They
be
should have done,
fair,
like, you know how they have, like, Scarlet Violet and then you choose which one to buy? It should have been, like, Z to V, F to A, and you have to pick which.
valid. The winner of the whole tournament too gets one wish from the company who's running it, as long as it's within means. Like, you know, you can get whatever you want, essentially. Um, so
Hunger Games? Is this like, are you playing the Hunger Games?
I mean, you're not killing anybody. Nobody's dying. You're just fighting each other, fighting their Pokemon, which is just a Pokemon game.
Like a big with like a big city and like a big company that oversees it, and then you get like whatever you
Actually,
want if
yeah.
you survive and win.
You want to know my actual big gripe with the game? My big gripe with the game is they were setting it up to seem like the big corporation was the reason that all the bad things were starting to happen, and then that never came through. And I was like, that was my big upset, that it was not the corporation's fault. But you're working with the corporation to
Really gonna
fix it.
publish a story where like the corporation's the bad guy.
They
Do you
wouldn't
think
do
like
it.
a big anti-consumer video game publisher is gonna be like, I know what we should do. Let's put out a game where we're the villains.
Other companies have done it. Uh,
Yeah, Nintendo.
it won't be Nintendo. You right. You right. But yeah, evil corporations aside, yeah, that was my only big gripe with the story. It's like that would have been a cool storyline, but it didn't happen. I digress. Um, gameplay mechanics though, overall, the pacing was really good. The fights didn't take like they took too long. It was a little bit on the easier side, but it wasn't so easy that I was like bored.
Or
Because when you fought the alpha Pokemon, they were actually difficult. When you got into some of the harder fights, they actually had a little bit of challenge where I had to think a little bit. The Rogue Mega Evolution fights were actually really hard because not only did you have to focus on your Pokemon's health, you had to focus on your own health because you couldn't get hit by enemy attacks, just like Legends Arceus did. So there was it was easier, but not so easy that I felt like this is boring. I don't want to do this anymore. So it could have been a little bit more challenging, but I think for the most part, it was pretty decent. I had a good time with the battle mechanics.
what about like the world?
Yep,
I've heard mixed reviews.
that's where we're going to next, and that's where the fun conversations and happy times just end. Everything goes to shit.
Bad. Everything turns bad.
Okay, so in Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? If we go back to 2022 for a second, that had a tiny little hub. Emily, you played like 10 minutes of it, sure. You go to this tiny little hub world, and then after that hub world, you have like 5 biomes that eventually open up to you, and you can go to all these biomes and catch different Pokemon in these semi-open biomes, new landscapes to look at, whatever. Right?
Hold please.
I'm holding.
Blake is speaking. You're being rude.
I can't even hear him.
Tom, he's banging on the door. It's very obnoxious. Beam me. Okay. Hold on, please. Bean would like to exit the room.
Okay, we got to hold for Bean.
Go on, everyone. It's like a mass exodus. All right.
Oh, okay.
Please continue talking to me about Pokemon.
So, yeah, in Legends Arceus, you had the little hub world, and then as the game went on, you got a whole bunch of different biomes, semi-open biomes. They weren't massive, but they were big enough, and there was enough to do in them to make them interesting, right? There were things to look at, things to explore. You weren't in the same area. Legends ZA just threw all that out the window and said city, and that's it. You are confined to Lumio City the entire time. Which makes it less interesting because everywhere you look, it's some kind of a building or a river or a battle, another copy pasted, little battle court area. It looks like a basketball court, but it's a Pokeball in the middle, whatever. Like, it's a lot of the same. I can go on about the graphics and stuff, but I know that stuff has already been said, but keep it short. Yeah, the graphics are also
been said to me.
Oh, yeah. The graphics wise, in terms of environments, they look really, really bad. The buildings look bad. I sent Emily a video of a reflection where you're on this rooftop
Oh yeah.
looking at a window and it's like, oh, look at these reflections and you see these buildings behind me. Problem, you turn around, there's actually no buildings behind you that should be reflecting off that window. Like,
And I think it's important to note here too that Blake is playing on the Switch 2.
I am. I
So he's
did
not
get
playing
the
on the
Switch 2
Switch
version.
1 and like hoping it runs well. He is playing on the Switch 2.
I did get the Switch. I paid the $10 more to get the Switch 2 version.
Sorry. For a second I was like, I thought you were saying I paid $10 more to have a Switch 2, and I was like,
No. You
I
pay more
think
than
you're off
that.
on the price of the Switch 2 a little bit there.
So, yeah, I paid $10 more to be able to play on the Switch 2. That all being said, where they did do well graphically, character design. I think the character design and they actually did pay attention to character models. I will recognize that game. They're not perfect. They look like PS4 characters, but it's a Switch 2, and that's where I'm like, okay, I understand why character models don't look as good. Don't like they look good enough. They're serviceable enough for a Switch 2. I'm happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I think all of the graphical budget went into two of the females' asses, and I wish I was joking. But even the internet agrees with me.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, everyone on the internet is simping over Emma, and I don't blame them. Like, yeah, look up Emma on Legends ZA.
Oh, Tia showed me this girl because she hates her trench coat.
I mean, the trench coat part is bad, but it's Emma. I mean, come
She
on.
hates that she has a crop trench coat over a jumpsuit, like a suit, a work suit.
Yes.
She doesn't like crop it. She's very cute though. I actually don't mind the crop trench coat. I don't think I like what she's wearing it over, but I like the coat itself.
Yeah, Emma is best character. I don't understand why everybody is simping for her 1,000%.
She apparently has magical hair growth powers too, because in this one photo, she has really long
that
hair.
never happens in game. But okay.
Weird. Is this Cloud?
No. Who are you looking at?
Oh, wait, I'm posting this in Discord.
Oh God. No, I'm afraid of what she's about to show. Oh yeah, no, that dude. What's his name? God. He actually, Emily, if any character you love, he is the type of character you love, the man who loves honor and who protect anything, even though he's reckless about it. Like, he's the type, he loses his sister in part of the story, and he's like, you go to Emma and be like, hey, we have to discover what we're missing here. And he's like, oh, that's where we need to go next? No time to think about it, and just runs and goes to save his sister.
I'm so sorry. Can you pull up this photo for viewers?
Yeah,
because there's lots to dissect in this photo. First of all, that this man does just look like Cloud, and I really thought it was like a very like I thought somebody had modded Cloud into this game because he looks so whack and out of place.
No.
And then second, I completely understand now what you mean about all the graphics going into one character's butt because I'm looking.
Yeah, you looking at Emma's butt right there?
I'm looking at it.
There was another one. I can't remember who it is. I think it was the maid character. She's dressed up as a maid. But my God, yeah, the character models, once again, a lot of the graphical details, not in this building, but it's in that ass for some reason.
It's not in that man, though. That man, can you zoom in on his face?
This is very, very pixelated, but yeah.
In game, it looks better.
Yeah, in game, it looks significantly better
than
this. Yeah, take my word for that.
Once I zoomed in, he did look better.
So, yeah, once again, and when it comes to character models, when it comes to those things, everything's good. Environment wise, my God, it's really bad. It's horrendously bad. And once again, environment wise, we're stuck in one city. I learned that what Game Freak did was, instead of, you know how most games, the way that things load is that they load when you enter that area. Right? They're not loaded all the time. Game Freak said, nah. The city is loaded at all times. The whole city is loaded at all times.
For a Switch game? They thought that was the move for a Switch game?
They thought that was the better move to improve frame rates. And that's why it's functional on Switch 1, I guess, apparently. But my argument...
Like it'd just be heavy. It just feels like it would be more effort on the part of the console.
My argument against it, though, is like, look at Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Those games look good overall. Like, they look good. What is Pokemon's excuse here? And Pokemon, it's not like they don't make money. This is where the context matters. If this game if this game was like a small developer, this is their first, second, they don't have a lot of money to deal with, and this was their game, this would have been an easy 9 to 9.5 out of 10. Easy. Given, smaller developer. But this is the Pokemon Company, which every game they make over $1 billion per release. The context matters because along with those leaks I showed about Wind and Waves, budgets for each Pokemon game recently have come out, including Wind and Waves budget coming out. I need you to remember, I need you to note that Sword and Shield, when it was all of the money Sword and Shield made was $1.5 billion in sales. Scarlet and Violet made $1.6 billion in sales. Sword and Shield's budget was $16 million. Scarlet and Violet's budget was $22 million. Legends ZA's budget was $13 million.
They're going down in their budget.
Yeah, and then in Gen 10, Wind and Waves will be $20 million. Why is this a problem? Look at Ghost of Yote. Ghost of Yote, made by Sucker Punch, and I know Sucker Punch is owned by Sony. Ghost of Yote had a budget of $60 million, which isn't super high, but it's a quality product, and it looks really good for the money they had. And yes, Sony probably could have given them more, but they're a smaller development team, whatever. Look at GTA 6. GTA 6 has a budget. Rockstar being more similar to the situation because they know it will sell. Rockstar's GTA 6 has a budget of over $1 billion because they're not trying to screw you over, because they're like, yeah, we have the money to do this. We know we could spend a lot less and still sell enough. But we're not going to do that. We want to put everything into this. And GTA is not my thing, but I can respect that. That's hey, we have the money. Let's actually invest it into this thing we're creating for you. Pokemon has the money. They have more than enough money to invest in this. Now, let's take it a step further. And this is not officially confirmed. You have a small company. You have Sandfall Interactive. And you have Expedition 33, the other French game. Small developer. Very small developer. The budget, I think, was estimated to be like 40 million. Let's see what the budget was estimated when I last looked. Yeah, it was under $30 million. So closer to that Pokemon mark of $20 million. And look what we got. We got a gorgeous game with, like, it was immaculate. The context...
I'm looking up, trying to find what the Animal Crossing development budget was.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious how that fits in.
Horizons.
That one I feel like is more like on par with like graphics wise. I don't know. I can't find anything on it.
It was about 5 million bells. I'm just kidding. That was so bad. That's not what I was looking for. Stupid Google AI. Okay, besides the point. This small company forked up more money for this. Pokemon is not light on cash. And I also need to make this abundantly clear. There's the developer Game Freak. You have the Pokemon Company who owns the Pokemon IP. And you have Nintendo. And then you have Creatures Inc., but they're focused on, creature development. Like, they're kind of out of the equation here. Nintendo doesn't determine the budget, at least I don't believe, for the Pokemon game. The Pokemon Company does. Game Freak does not determine the budget because they're just the developers. They're the ones who just make it. They're not owned by the Pokemon Company or Nintendo. They don't determine the budget. The context here is that the Pokemon Company refuses to fork over the cash that they have to make a quality product because they know you're gonna buy it anyways.
They know they can get away with it.
Yep, I have a strong now. Like, I don't think I can confidently buy Wind and Waves. I think this was the what broke the camel's back. I cannot do it. Knowing that we're going to get.
Was this an $80 purchase?
Was it? I spent one. I didn't even spend the $70. I traded in things, but it was $70. It was a $70 game.
So it was a $60 game, and then you paid $10 extra for it on Switch 2.
Yeah, because I bought the Switch 2 edition, which they just charged me. It was just $10 more physically, anyways. But yes, it would have gone the same way if I bought the Switch 1 edition and upgraded. So,
okay,
yeah. With all that context and knowing that this game, it's not as good as it could be. Did I have fun with it? Yes. And the reason I have brought this all up and what has really drove me insane and has pissed me off is seeing the discourse online has either been one of two camps. There's the far left side of this camp that is like, it looks like shit. It does not look good. It's just a bad game and they won't even try it. I don't agree with that camp fully because I think that's like, okay, you got to at least play the game. But then you have the far other camp. The far other camp is, I'm having fun with the game, therefore no criticism should be made about this thing that I'm having fun with, which is incredibly toxic and unhealthy. And then I've only seen very few people, and I'm one of those people who sit in the middle, where I did have a good time with this game. I think I did enjoy my 28 hours in this game. However, I need to criticize this thing that I have loved since Generation 3, since 2002, because I deserve better at this point. Like, this is no longer a me problem. I've gotten in an argument with some dude on TikTok who said I needed therapy and I'm a miserable human being because I'm criticizing this thing. And I'm like, dude, chill. Calm down. Because overall, I enjoy the game, but I deserve better than this, especially when I invest my time and my money into this thing that you give me. I'm no longer just going to be grateful for this. And because of that, I cannot say that this game is, it's mid at best. I cannot rate it over a 6 out of 10. I truly can't.
Wow.
As much fun as I had.
It's maybe like the lowest you've ever rated a game on podcast.
No. The lowest game I've ever rated a game was Lost Soul Aside, and I said that was a 2 out of 10, and I didn't even finish it.
One, you didn't play it, because we saw that horrible cutscene, and then you played like a handful of hours. And then
I played 10 hours of it.
Yeah, that one doesn't count. You refuse to rate that. You didn't even like the game.
It's so bad!
A DNF doesn't get a rating.
No. Now, I also want this to be clear to the podcast listeners. You also have to remember, a 6 out of 10 is still right above mid. A 6 out of 10 is still a decent score. That means I enjoyed it to some level, and I did. I had fun with my time. But given the context of who the Pokemon Company is, and what they can afford, and what they are doing to nickel and dime, I can't, in good conscience, give it a higher score than a 6 out of 10, because this is slop, and this is the bare minimum of what we deserve.
My question, I guess, is for you.
Yeah.
We kind of talk about how we kind of compare this with Assassin's Creed, and I wouldn't call Assassin's Creed like the new game slop. I really enjoyed Shadows and I enjoyed Mirage a lot. But would you say for people like it's worth buying if they're people who enjoy Pokemon and they're not here for like the wheel to be reinvented or for something new and great? They just want a new Pokemon game. Like, would you say it's worth purchasing in that sense? Because like I would look at people and be like, is Shadows reinventing? Like, is Shadows doing something incredible? No, but I think it's a fun Assassin's Creed game, and if you enjoy Assassin's Creed, you'll enjoy this game.
I'm not even looking for them to reinvent the wheel. I can at least, if you are just looking for a good, fun time, sure. I'm not going to judge you if you buy this game, I'm not going to judge you for it. I mean, I did. I purchased this.
No, I'm not saying should you judge them. I'm saying, like, would you look at, like, people who are listening and be like, if you like Pokemon games and you have a fun time with them, I would recommend buying this game.
I would say yes, only because it is a good time. It is, if you have been a lifelong Pokemon fan and this is the thing that you look forward to the most, do it. Do it because it is, in a gameplay perspective, it is truly a fun time. But if you truly, it kind of goes both ways, because I also am like, I don't want to continue to give them money if they're going to continue to do this. And I don't want people to continue to give them money, but at the same time, I don't think that's a good enough preface to say, don't buy this game. It's a shit game. Because it's not a shit game. It's just the bare minimum. I'm not looking for them to reinvent the wheel. I just want them to give us what we deserve, and that's something that's pretty to look at and runs functionally. Like, this is the important thing to know, because my initial thought was I want to blame Game Freak and being like, they just don't know how to develop games. They just don't know what they're doing. But I can't, because of what happened earlier this year and what happened
when they
earlier.
That game, yeah.
Beast of Reincarnation.
So good.
Which has nothing to do with the Pokemon Company. Look at this. Like, this looks immaculate. This looks so fucking gorgeous. I will be buying this day one. Like,
Big Wolf. This looks like somebody said that wolf in Ghost of Yote is too small. Make the girl smaller, make the wolf bigger.
This is the prettiest looking game I've seen Game Freak ever develop. And Game Freak has done other games on Nintendo consoles.
Guys, it's Paradise.
I don't care about this. What is this? This is wrong.
Pokemon.
Back off with that. I want to see this, the reveal trailer. This is what I care about. Like, just look. I know it's not a gameplay trailer, but even still, this
Pretty.
looks 1,000 times better. I know what they're capable of. I know what Game Freak can do.
Well,
And
there's also
they,
something to be said for the fact of like an art style, right? Because I think Pokemon has more of like a chibi animated art style than something like this.
yeah, you can argue that, sure, but it still looks like
Ooh.
shit for a chibi art style.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even I'll take it further back for the actual chibi art style. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, the game everyone shits on. That came out on the Switch. The remakes of Diamond and Pearl look better than this game, and they're full chibi because this is how a Pokemon game was supposed to be. Like, these Pokemon games were made in 2D and they were brought to a 3D world, and this game looks just immaculately better because of how it is, like the style it is in, and that it works. And this wasn't even made by Game Freak. They outsourced this game overall. How's the music? The overall game design you rated really. The music's fine. I wouldn't say the music's bad. It didn't blow me away, but it's decent. I put that in the decent category.
G also asked what the turnaround
Oh.
time between previous Pokemon games was. Like, what was the turnaround time between the last game and this game, or last DLC in this game?
Oh my god. So we got Scarlet and Violet DLC, I think. Scarlet and Violet came out in 22. We got DLC throughout 23. This game with ZA was supposed to, yeah, it was a few years, but ZA was supposed to come out in 24 and then it got pushed back to this year. Because of all the complaints about Scarlet and Violet, obviously. Before that, we usually got a Pokemon game like every year because we also got Legends Arceus in 22 and we got Sword and Shield in 2019, I think, or 2020. One of the two.
So every couple years, like every 2 years or so.
Right. They're chucking them out fast. I would argue too fast.
So that is a pretty fast turnaround time.
Which once
if they're all
again,
made by the same developer.
which once again, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was not made by Game Freak. This was made by Ilka. They outsourced this one, and crazy. It looks decent. It's not Game Freak's fault though. It's the Pokemon Company's fault for not, one, putting up the money, and two, giving them time. Give them time to do what they got to do. You know.
I don't know. I don't think I mean, I haven't played the game. I don't think the graphics look that bad.
In Legends ZA?
Yeah, I guess I really don't know like what you're looking for. Like, do you want them to look more realistic? I don't
want more realistic, but one, I need more than just one. More importantly, the same biome, like being in the same area the whole time. Just being in the city.
You want the world more expanded? Yes.
I want the world more expanded, which I could have honestly forgiven a lot of this if the world was more expanded, right? But also, if you're gonna confine me into one area, oh, I forgot about another negative I'll bring up in just a second. That reminded me about this. But if you're going to confine me to one area, at least make it look decent, because you're not developing, you're reusing a shit ton of assets.
I will say the assets, like the buildings, don't look great.
Wait, say again?
I will say I don't think the buildings look great.
There was one gameplay aspect too that knocks my rating to keeps it at 6 out of 10 that I completely forgot about. They have these things because you can go on rooftops and run around and catch Pokemon in rooftops and stuff, which is fine. But they have these like platforming sections. The problem is there's no jump button. You know how you have to get across these platforming sections? You have to step off the ledge and hit A at the right time to have your phone launch you up a little bit. Oh, you missed your timing? Go start over. It is miserable. It is a miserable experience. The reason my rating again though is so low is because context 100% matters here, and I know we deserve better than what we got. You're right. You're right, G. I don't think just because it doesn't look pretty is enough, but there are other things involved, such as the biome situation.
Just because it didn't look pretty. I think you also mentioned like the gameplay was fine, but the world was like incredibly limited. That there wasn't much to explore or to find. It wasn't very well made or created.
Correct.
You also mentioned like the story was just fine, the gameplay was just fine.
In terms of
Pokemon, I think also this is part of like a larger trend, because like you also really struggled with Scarlet and Violet. I think this was just a larger trend of feeling like they're churning out these Pokemon games repeatedly, but they're not really putting the creative effort that they could be putting into them.
Yeah, even me, a certified Sun and Moon hater who did not finish Sun and Moon, think it was better product than Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and this all combined. Legend ZA was my like introduction back into I think that we're about to get what we deserve. Because Legend ZA, even though it didn't look pretty, there was a lot to explore, a lot to do. It was something new, which it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be,
this is
but
VA.
huh?
This
I'm
is VA.
sorry.
You're saying VA.
I meant Arceus. Arceus
Okay.
was like my like we're gonna get what we deserve. They're finally doing something right, and I appreciated Arceus so much. I had such a good time, but here I'm like you backpedaled so much from Arceus. Arceus to me is an 8 out of 10 game. This is not that. I did not get the same level of quality here, even if I had fun.
My other question is like, what's the Pokemon situation like? Is this? I guess I don't really understand how often they introduce new Pokemon. Is it just like you get the 2 new legendaries with each game, or do they add like other new
Uh
Pokemon?
so for Legends Arceus, they didn't add any new Pokemon, but they added what they call regional forms, meaning like they're just it's the same Pokemon, but there's a new
They look
form to it
different in
with new
different areas.
typings. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, and they've done
Yeah.
that before. I think they started that with Sun and Moon was when they did regional forms, which I'm fine with. And I wasn't expecting any new Pokemon at all from ZA either, so they didn't introduce anything new, but they also didn't introduce new forms. It was fine. I think the Pokemon selection was for the most part okay. No, I take it back. Pokemon selection's 10 out of 10 because they gave me a shiny Mareep, which at the beginning for free at the beginning of the game, which gave me a shiny Ampharos, and that's my favorite Pokemon. Allison bought me an Ampharos the other day, like 2 days ago, and it's sitting on my shelf back there. I
Theo
love my
loves
electric
Marie.
sheep. That hold on, my electric sheep is my favorite Pokemon of all time. So like that is why its selection is 10 out of 10. But in reality, it's just fine. It's okay. It's a good selection. I didn't hate it. And of course, me and Tia had the same starter. We both started with Chikorita, which is the little grass
Chikorita.
boy here. That's Chikorita.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
Chikorita.
Chikorita may be the weakest of the 3 starters, but I love that little thing so much. Totodile is just a little derpy boy, and Tepig is just a terrible choice for a starter coming from
I don't even
Generation
remember
5.
seeing the one in the middle, but I know the other two.
Tepig comes from Generation 5, from Black and White. It's fine. That's what it becomes. It becomes this giant.
My Pokemon knowledge is based on the ones I collected in Pokemon Go, and I don't think I got that one.
Yeah, you probably stopped playing around that time. I mean, I stopped playing also before that even happened. But yeah, that's what you got. So, yeah, most of my opinions about this are truly based on I deserve better. And if this was a small time company, it would have been whatever. But it wasn't. This is a company that makes hand over fist in money and can do better and just refuses to do better.
Mm.
I'm kind of tired of the Pokemon company right now. And before people come at me in the comments, which I think they're going to, a 6 out of 10 is not a bad score. It's above mid. It means I had some level of fun with it. I already said that, but I just reiterate. And it is also okay to criticize the things you like. I had a little bit of criticism for Expedition 33, and that's officially my favorite game of all time. I have criticisms for Kingdom Hearts 1. That is my second favorite game of all time. Like, it's normal to criticize things you enjoy.
Expedition 33 could have just been so much better if they just had a mini map.
Exactly. I think that was my main criticism with Expedition 33 was there's no mini map. And I know the
I
combat
get
in
it,
Kingdom
they're
Hearts.
like, but you're exploring, you're an expedition, yeah. I still want a map.
I still need to be
Could
able
you
to see where
imagine
I'm
how much
going.
like better they could have done with their like several expeditions if they had just been making maps along the way?
They could have
If
gotten
they
so
had
much
just like
farther.
each expedition started a map, and then if someone survived, they brought the map back, or they like made sure to be like, I don't know, have the map out. I don't know. They could have been doing so much better.
Uh, you have to find that map. You truly have to find that would actually been the thing. That would have been a cool thing that you find an expedition site and then there was a map sitting there and you pick up the map and you
Yeah.
had the map to the area.
Or like
That
each expedition had like mapped out a specific part of the map, and when you found that expedition's camp, you got like the info for that part of the map.
hey Sandfall, hire us. We have good ideas. We're ideas people. We'll be your marketing
Maps
team.
are important.
We're your marketing team. Come hire us. We'll move to
You know what
France.
else is important? I'm just gonna throw this out here again because I'm thinking Gociote. Contrast.
Yes.
Contrast is important. I know web accessibility guidelines don't technically apply to video games, but people still have visual impairments, and then being able to read and see things is important. So put contrast in your game. Stop putting gray on white and white on gray or whatever. Stop having your text be little white text in the corner. People can't see it.
Actually, shout out to Bolatro for adding a high contrast mode where it turned the clubs blue, so they're a different color from the spades, and the diamonds orange, so they're a different color from the hearts. Like,
That's
shouts out
incredible.
Bolatro. Shout out
See, contrast is
Bolatro.
important. There's even like a website you can go to and you can insert like your color numbers and it will tell you if your contrast meets requirements for web accessibility guidelines.
I didn't know that those existed, but I'm also not a web developer.
I work with a bunch of web developers, and we actually have an accessibility person on our team whose job it is to assess and help websites become more accessible. And she's really drilled that into me. And it's something I've noticed because I have terrible eyesight. Obviously, I'm not like, at a point where I really need stuff, but like I notice when stuff is like shitty contrast or like it's harder or smaller to read. And I can't imagine how hard it is on someone who has very, very strong visual impairments. It's important. Make sure people can read your shit.
Well,
I even went through, actually, after we did our first Ghost of Yotei Part 1 review, I went through the settings of Ghost of Yotei to look for more accessibility settings. And they did have one setting I did turn on, which was that you can make the wind stronger, like more visual so you can see it better. And I did turn that on. But they didn't have any kind of thing for the map of like having the icons be bigger or the text or the colors better. They didn't have anything like that.
Well, come on, Sucker Punch, do maps. You've done good maps, actually.
Need it.
What happened with these maps?
I need to replay Ghost of Tsushima and look at the map for that one because I didn't think that one was that black and white.
I don't remember, to be honest. Anywho, while she's looking that up, that was my review of Pokemon Legends ZA. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I just want things to be better. I really truly do want things to be better.
The Ghost of Tsushima map
oh my
was
goodness, we have
white and gray, but it was like a very dark gray.
There are 17 people watching us on YouTube.
Wow, hi friends. Wow, you're gonna get so shit on for your Pokemon opinions.
Were we rated on YouTube or something and I just didn't know? Hi YouTubers, if you're there, thank you. I don't know
for his thoughts. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, tell me your opinions on color contrast in games. It's something I've been really struggling with over the last few years. Like I even remember when I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey when it first came out, and I like made a spot on the floor with a bunch of pillows and blankets from which to play so I could be closer to the screen so I could read the text in the corners and see all the icons on the map and everything. So maybe we'll do a whole episode on the importance of accessibility options in your video game.
Yeah, 1000%. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. This episode is going to be posted so you can comment and yell at me. Probably this weekend.
I'd love to see Blake get yelled at.
Yeah. If you agree with me, great. If not, I'd love to have a discussion. I'm open and willing to talk about these things. There's a lot of things I like to talk about with this because I'm very passionate about Pokemon and games, and I'm tired of seeing my passion go away. So,
sorry, I'm still looking at the Ghost of Tsushima map. It is darker, and the icons are different colors, but I can't tell if the icons are different colors because these are like custom maps, or if they also made them white. Maybe they are white. In which case, but they had like white. They had black outlines. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to sit down and compare these maps. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a whole episode on accessibility.
I think the Ghost of Yotei map was just too light because this is
still
gray,
light.
but this is darker.
Really hard. Okay.
I also realized I never played the DLC area for Ghost of Tsushima.
It came out, like, I played it, like, right when the game came out, and then by the time the DLC came out, I kind of moved on. It's kind of like Assassin's Creed Shadows at this point. Like, the DLC's come out, but now it's been, like, 6 months since I played it, so I've kind of lost it. I do plan on going back in to do it, but I think maybe with my, sorry, someone I know just turned on Peak, and they didn't invite me. How rude.
Is it a person I know?
Yeah.
Are they in chat?
No.
Okay. Are they related to the person in chat?
Yeah.
I know who they are. Okay, cool. On that note, that's going to be it. That's my review of Pokemon Legends ZA. If you want to buy it, buy it. I think I need, until I see Wind and Waves come out and actually see people play it and look at it, I don't think I can keep giving this company money. I'm kind
Everybody's
of,
got to make the choice for themselves about what they
yeah.
enjoy and what is worth their time and their money. I know a lot of people who gave up on Assassin's Creed a decade or so ago. Actually,
Hey,
Tia reached out to me. She reached out and was like, "Let's play Unity together." And I was like, "You mean the one with the four white men?"
you mean the reason I quit Assassin's Creed after after
We're gonna
Black
do it.
Flag?
We're gonna do it. I think I might enjoy it because I do love Paris and it's set in Paris. But like, dang, as long as I live on this earth, I will never understand Ubisoft's. I actually got mad about this the other day and was ranting about how they don't like women-led games. But I like, how do you have a game where you have four protagonists and you make it co-op, and you don't make one of them a person of color nor a female?
Well, you know, because
They all look the same.
you know what that old Ubisoft director at that time said. You know how he feels about
Japan
minorities
was
and
boring. They also, this is like, I don't know if it's the same director, but this was also the same company who was like, Cassandra. No, you can't make Cassandra the main character. You have to have a male option. You can't just have a female character. You have to have the male too.
and look how well Shadows did. Are we being
No,
real
no,
here?
Shadows have male too. Shadows.
It
There
did
has
have a
never
male
been.
too, but like, did Yasuke really have like a huge impact until the very end?
Yasuke was a pretty. I mean, like you don't get him till the end of Act One, but he was a pretty big character.
I
I
think he
like
was a big
Yasuke
character,
and
but
his story.
I still think Naue was the main focus overall.
She was one of the main focus. But I'm saying there has never been an Assassin's Creed game that has an exclusively one main character and it's a female character, and you have to play as
Oh,
a female.
that reminds me. Did you ever hear about the Assassin's Creed game that was canceled?
Which one?
There was an Assassin's Creed game that was canceled where you were supposed to be a slave in the South, an assassin, like ex-slave in the South, killing the KKK members, and they canceled it because they were afraid of backlash.
That's a very hot topic to touch on.
I know. I'm just saying that was a thing that
And I don't know
existed.
if I
I learned
trust
about it recently.
Ubisoft to do that justice. Like don't get me wrong, I like Assassin's Creed. I don't know that I trust Ubisoft to handle that topic in the way it should be handled.
I mean, let's be real. The Templars really are KKK members. They would 100% be KKK members.
Yeah. I am curious for the next game, which is supposedly supposed to be Assassin's Creed Hex. I mean, obviously past the Black Flag remake. The next new game is supposed to be a Hex, which is supposed to be Witch Trials. And I'm curious if there's still going to be like, there has to be a male option in this.
I guess we'll see.
They've never done it. They have literally like even like Syndicate, Jacob was the one on all the marketing, Jacob was the one in the trailers, and you can play as Jacob the entire game except for the like handful of EV centric missions. And then when they went to the open world games, you had to play as Bayek, you had to play as the male. And then
Mhm.
the next game from then on, you could pick your gender, or they had both. They have never had a female centric game. So I'm curious to see if Hex will be. Oh, and we went back to Mirage, and you once again have to play as a male. I'm not against playing as men. I'm just saying they're not against having like picking one gender and one character. They're just against picking females.
Only females, specifically females.
Yeah, they won't do it. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna handle this witch trials thing. Cause like not to say like men weren't involved because they were, but like it was mostly women, right?
I mean, women's were the ones being burned at the stake.
Yeah. I mean, I for some like males accused of witchcraft as well.
I mean, we'll
But
see.
like
We have 2 years to see for that. I think 2 years. You think?
when Black Flag comes out, I would say it's either end of 2026 or beginning of 2027.
I guess we will.
Because Black Flag was supposed to be, I think, slated for the end of this year, but because Shadows got pushed back, I think Black Flag got pushed back to like March of next year. Obviously, that's not confirmed. That's just rumors I'm hearing. So if it still comes out in March, I could see a Hex being end of year or beginning of 2027. So a year and a half, maybe?
Okay, I can do that. This is the
Who knows?
point where I have to force us to end because we are well
Yep,
over
I'll send it.
time.
We're not talking about our topic anymore. We're just talking about random shit. Blake and I do this too often.
Oh man. Yep, that's gonna do it for us. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Bearded Blake Show. Follow us the Podstation Twitch channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us out, help us grow. Please do all the
Sorry, I was
things.
looking at this comment. They make it a Save the Princes, which boom, we still in it, boys.
Boys.
You know what? I'm with you. I believe 100% in Ubisoft's ability to insert a male character into the witch trials and be like, it's really important that you play as this man. He's so important to these witch trials. You must play as the dude.
Make sure you also follow her on Twitch, twitch.tv/Emily Jean, but that's the other way. Emily Jean 33. That one over there. She occasionally goes live. She thinks about it.
When
Sometimes.
my computer work, which I mean, my computer
I
works fine. When my internet works, I guess.
Yeah, I fixed the computer part. You just haven't done it since.
We're gonna do it soon. I promise.
Sure, I'll believe it.
Maybe I'll get T here. Maybe we'll play PT. And if she won't play it, maybe I'll just take it and I'll play it for Halloween.
We'll see. That being said, bye everyone. Have a wonderful time. And remember, if you are a bearded man, make sure you trim your nose hairs. You may not think that they're nose hairs, but they're definitely there. Go trim your nose hairs. Okay, thanks everyone. Okay, bye.
How do you do this?
Okay, bye.